So our speaker today is going to speak on the business registration for renewable energy. She's going to speak on the legal factors to consider when starting a renewable energy business. And she's going to touch on access to finance for renewable energy projects. So I would like to very much to welcome Saumu Ismail, who is a project manager at KCIC, Kenya Climate Innovation Center. And she has a main focus in stewarding climate enterprises towards success. She's also one of the winner of the African Queen of Energy Award for her effort in aiding companies such as your own in terms of being successful in the renewable energy space. So in the interest of time, I would like to pass on the baton to Saumu Ismail to start the meeting, to kick us off in the meeting and with the presentation. Saumu, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, and I'm here. Thank you so much for the invitation, and I'm very happy to share insights and also learn from the amazing women who have joined. Maybe you could allow me to share my screen. Yeah, I have access. Let me know if you can see my screen. Just change it to presenter mode. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you again for the invitation. As Anne said, I work for the Kenya Climate Innovation Center. I am a program manager for a project on productive use of solar energy in agriculture with the focus of Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. But today I'm here to talk about the clean cooking sector. I thought maybe I should get to know the companies in the room. So if you can put in the chat box your name, the name of your company, and the technology that you offer, and maybe the location would be nice. Yeah, so that I can know who I'm really addressing. Yeah. So to give you a background of the Kenya Climate Innovation Center, we are a climate entrepreneurship company. We support companies like you who have solutions to climate change, either mitigation or adaptation. We view climate as an opportunity for entrepreneurship. So we do this through access to finance. We have various programs that offer access to finance, different type, from proof of concept for people who want to test new ideas, to result-based financing, debt financing, early stage financing, matching grant. There are different types depending on the type of donor and also the type of program. We also offer business advisory. That is majorly our core business. We work with your journey. So when you enter a program, we have SME advisors who work with specific companies to close their gaps. We do policy advocacy. We also provide access to information. If you need us to do any market assessment for you, if you want us to help you be informed on the market trends or what is happening in your specific sector, we have a whole department for that. We also provide access to facilities. We have partnerships with people like Kirti, KEBS, who have been helping our businesses do product development and prototyping. Our offices are also open if we understand that most of the companies that we support are startups and they require office space to hold meetings and run their businesses. So we provide that support. Our focus sectors are 5. We look at renewable energy and energy efficiency, the agribusiness sector, water management, waste management, and commercial forestry. Just an highlight of the programs that we have. This is the Green Biz program. These are the companies we've supported. This is a program funded by the Danida, and it looks at commercializing the 5 sectors that I've talked about. You might know some of these companies: Nawasco, Gari, Totoski. So those are some of the companies we've supported under the Green Biz program. The AgriBiz program has been a 5 years program. It's coming to an end this year. It has been supporting women and youth in agriculture and livestock. And these are some of the companies that have benefited from that program: Kim Planter, Onion Doctor, Rehab. Yeah. This is also one of our largest program that has enabled us set up 8 hubs across the country. The productive use of solar energy program in agriculture. We launched this last year as a pilot program focusing on Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, and we are closing the pilot this year. And these are some of the companies that we've been able to pilot with different types of technologies in the agriculture sector. And these technologies are now going to be adopted in a new program that will be starting next year called the Dream Hub program, that is now going to scale the adoption of productive use of solar energy in agriculture. This is the SWIFT program. So this supports different types of innovations in waste management, whether you are doing waste to energy like yourself in clean cooking or through briquettes. If you are doing waste to organic fertilizer, waste to useful products like plastics. So this is the program that supports that. It's active. It started last year, so it's still ongoing. It's a 5 years program. And these are some of the companies we've onboarded in the program. So any form of waste management project falls under the SWIFT program. The other programs we have is the Climate Launchpad competition. This is a short-term competition, mostly looking at startups or people in idea stage, or university students who have great ideas in climate adaptation and mitigation. Same applies to the clean tech competition and what design can do. So these are programs we launch every year. Then the winners get small grants to kick off their businesses or to pilot their ideas. We do this in partnership with the Swiss embassy and other partners. Then this is the Dream Hub program I was talking about. We are still in the design phase. It's kicking off officially next year, funded by the Mott Foundation to scale up productive use of solar energy in agriculture. So I was invited to talk about these 3 main topics for this forum: looking at business registration for renewable energy, what are the legal factors to consider when you're starting a renewable energy business, access to for renewable energy, access to renewable energy. So maybe just to give you a background about the work I've done in the clean cooking space. Before joining KCIC, I worked for Energy for Impact. That's now the Mercy's energy access platform. And we were looking at supporting energy companies. Among them were having various technologies in clean cooking, and they were looking to franchise their model in sub-Saharan Africa. I've also worked with SNV to pilot or do market assessment for a briquetting project where we pioneered the setup of the currently Nawasco company that transforms waste into fecal matter briquettes. So that was an exciting project for me because we did a lot of consumer awareness and consumer engagement just to understand if people were willing to accept briquettes from human waste, and also how they could work with the existing improved cook stores in the market. So we tried with a number of households. We supplied them with Kenya Ceramic Jiko, that's the normal KCJ. We supplied them with cocoa. We did various types of gasifiers. Gasifiers are cook stoves that use pellets. And then it was just a demo just to compare. We give them like a 1 kg, then they provide us with data to compare how the briquettes from human waste were performing compared to what they were using at that time. So for someone who was using firewood, we would give them a gasifier because it would work the same way as your firewood, 3-stone firewood stove. For someone who was using charcoal, we would give them now the briquettes because we did not want to disrupt their cooking routines or their culture. We wanted to make sure the performance, it's like there is very minimal disruption in the change from one technology, their traditional technology, to the new technology. So just to give you an overview of how the clean cooking sector is performing in Kenya. So our target currently is to have a universal clean cooking solution by 2028. But still, this is one of the spaces I feel there isn't much happening. People are more focused on electrification, and that's why we are still at 68% of the population who are using traditional cooking fuel. And the most affected counties are Nakuru, Kakamega, Meru, Bungoma, and Nairobi. But over the last 10 years, we have seen many Kenyans willing to adopt clean cooking solutions who have adopted solutions like LPG, people who are using charcoal with improved cook stores, which is good. So the firewood usage has reduced from 76% to 52% for the last decade. So I just put that graph there to show you the current status of clean cooking. There's still a lot to be done on electric cooking, but LPG is selling very fast, and there is still use of wood in some areas. Yeah. There are various initiatives. Kenya, we are known for documentation, so we have documented so many strategies, regulations, and policies that have really transformed the cooking sector. And you might know most of these actually. The most recent one is the Kenya National Electric Cooking Strategy. Yeah, that is the most recent one. So you might take time to read through this and understand how your business aligns to our cooking plan or our cooking strategy. We also have counties that have developed integrated development plans. I will not mention all of them, but you have 12 counties who have already developed these. So it's important for you as your business to look at your county of operation and see what they mention about clean cooking in terms of their targets for clean cooking in the integrated development plan. For example, Mombasa targets to distribute 50,000 energy savings cooking jikos. So how does your company align to this strategy? We have 6 counties that have developed energy plans, Nakuru, Turkana, Narok, Kitui. Most recently, the Makueni County just launched their energy plan. So just take time to read through it and see what they say about the clean cooking. You might be doing things that are not totally aligning to your county energy plan. So it's important to keep up to date with what's happening in the county and what are their targets for your specific technology. Looking at the transition, this is what is currently the observation, like people using biomass stores. Where are they transitioning to? If you are to transition someone from a traditional charcoal cook stove, what are they most likely willing to to accept. So we are seeing people transitioning from charcoal to LPG or biogas. Someone was using kerosene. They are more flexible and willing to adopt ethanol stove, because I think probably it's more of behavior and also the cost. Yeah. You can get this information from our national cooking strategy. Yeah. Right. So I was told most of the companies here are between 2 to 5 years of operation, and I did not want to assume you understand the business registration process, but it's pretty easy. You have to register your business name first and make sure it's very unique. And once it's approved and the registrar has confirmed that that name is not being used by any other company, you are given a go-ahead to now register your business officially, either as a sole proprietor or a limited company or an NGO, limited, any form. There are different legal structures. So once you've selected a legal structure, and what I've seen for most of the companies you have supported at KCIC is the register as private limited company. So you go to the BRS platform. That's how it looks like when you just search online the business registration services platform. It will take you there. There are a number of documents that you'll be required to have already, like the IDs and photos of your directors and the shareholders. So you fill in the information, then you'll be supplied with some information that you will download and then sign and upload in the system. These documents include the Memorandum of Article of Association, the CR1, CR2, CR8. These will be provided to you through the system once you fill in all the required information. So you download the document, then sign them, and then upload them again and wait for approval. Last I checked, last year, the registration for the business plan was costing us 950 Kenyan shillings. I don't know how much it is this year. For you to register as a private limited company, you require to pay 10,700. Yeah. So once you've paid and gotten approval, you're issued with a certificate of incorporation. So it shows that your business is officially registered. Yeah, please feel free to put any questions you might have on the chat box, but this is one of the support areas we provide to the companies that are onboarded in our programs. Yeah. In terms of legal compliance, so if you are starting a clean cooking business, first you've done the registration, you've gotten your certificate of incorporation. You, of course, you'll be making profit if, for example, you've registered as a private limited company. So you need to register for the KRA tax certificate. And then some of the licenses and permits you require just to start operation is the single business permit. This is issued by your respective county or the county where you want to do your operation. So if you are doing operations in more than 3 counties, you need like a permit from each of those counties. Then health and safety certification from DOSHE. This is majorly for the employees. So you need to comply with the health and safety measures by DOSH for if you have any employees in your facility. Then just conducting an EIA, environmental impact assessment, and getting approval from NEMA. This is mostly for people who are doing production and manufacturing of their clean cooking solutions. So you require to do an EIA assessment and get approval from NEMA. If you have very unique technology, or if you have a very unique name and you want to protect that name, you require to register for intellectual property rights. You will get this from KIPI. So you can either get a trademark or a patent. Trademarks, for what I've seen at KCIC, trademarks are mostly for business names. Yeah, that is what I see our lawyer mostly advising companies to do, a trademark for the company names and the logos. And then patent is now for the specific technology. You have to comply, of course, to the energy regulations and the environmental laws. So comply with the Energy Act, the standards and quality of KEBS. If you are doing ethanol production, check what standards and qualities you need to meet from KEBS and get certification from KEBS to do any production. If you're doing production of cookstoves, they have standards for that. So it's mostly taking your products to KEBS for testing and getting a certificate before you can now start selling. Comply with EMCA, Environmental Management or Compliance Authority. Just making sure if your production process is going to have any impact on the environment, you need to make sure you get a license to proceed with your operations. Yeah. EPRA, of course, issues licenses for any renewable energy projects. They have a directorate for renewable energy for this. Then this is optional. You can join any association just to be informed on what's happening in the industry and for the purposes of networking. And probably the last one is make sure you comply to the labor laws. And we also have the consumer protection practices. Unless there is any other regulation that has emerged, but these are the major ones that we support companies to comply with in the various programs we support on. So when you come to KCIC, we have to make sure you comply with most of these. But as the companies, it depends with the stage of your company. For startups, it's not a must for you to comply with all of this because you might be having only two staff, or you've not started operation, or you are selling someone else's product. So it also depends with the size of your business and if you are making any profits and the type of operation you are doing. So we advise you on the legal factors that you need to comply with depending on that. Yeah. Looking at access to finance for renewable energy projects. Like I said, a lot is not happening on clean cooking. The focus is majorly on electrification. There is a lot of financing opportunities to promote energy access, but people tend to forget the clean cooking component of it. But there are still, that does not mean there are no financing opportunities for the clean cooking technologies, just that the adoption is a bit slow, and also there is a lot of like what you are seeing from investors, they are a bit skeptical to invest in new clean cooking technologies that have not been tested by the market. But these are some of the financing opportunities that we are seeing some of the companies benefit from. Carbon financing, of course, has really helped companies subsidize the cost of their technologies. We are seeing companies like Cocoa Network and Burn Manufacturing who have benefited a lot from carbon financing. I saw from the Kenya National Cooking Strategy that the clean cooking sector has produced 16.7 million tons of CO2 in the form of carbon credits, which is really impressive. But I'm yet to know these 17 developers, because the ones I'm aware of are only Cocoa Networks and Burn Manufacturers. There is also financing from banks and MFIs, where the companies we support partner with banks to ensure their customers can afford the solution. So your client can take a small loan from, let's say, Equity or Faulu Kenya to buy your product. So it's a matter of directing them to where they can get this financing. Development organization, we have donor-funded projects for promoting clean cooking, like the NDEV project, the SMAP, Clean Cooking Fund, CLASP has a result-based financing. We also have the African Enterprise Challenge Fund. GIZ is doing projects on clean cooking, and also the World Bank has invested a lot on renewable energy and energy efficiency projects in Africa. I was not able to look at the active ones, but the ones I know that are open application is like the CLASP, LEAP, result-based financing. You can check it out. Yeah. I'm not sure about the rest, but maybe after this, I can come up with, I can check which are active among the donor-funded projects that are active. We also have like crowdfunding platforms. So this is where you raise small loans from a number of people, like people contribute to your project in small amounts. It's mostly suitable for early stage companies, because for startups, you might not be able to repay the loans. And the examples of crowdfunding platforms are Charm Impact. These are active platforms: the Charm Impact, the Betaverse, Crowd Credit, Trine, Kiva. We have connections to some of these. So if you need to raise money through crowdfunding, you can always reach out to KCIC. You can also do equity financing for your project, through shares issuing shares to family and friends or venture capitalists, angel investors, or your directors. You can contribute to your project. The last example here was just an example of business models that are working. This was mostly on the consumer side, and the business model we are seeing being issued by the clean cooking companies. Some do cash-based model, pay-go, layaway. Layaway is being done by Coco Network. Then we have the distribution through organized groups. So these are some of the business model we've seen from clean cooking companies. Yeah. So I listed here active funding opportunities. We'll be launching our next call for application next year for the SWIFT program. So you are welcome to apply if you have a waste to energy project. Yeah, you're welcome to apply. There is the Modern Cooking Facility for Africa, COSAP. I'm meant to understand the COSAP round 2 funding should start soon, so watch out for that. SMAP, then we have the decarbonizing humanitarian energy funding by NOCAP and UNDP, and a few more fundings from USAID. These are just a few. So if I believe if I had more time, I could get more, but these are the ones that have been shared with in our networks. Yeah. So in terms of key skills to success in a clean cooking business, so you are pretty new in this space, for example, and you are not sure like how to go about it, but you want to venture into the clean cooking business. So what should you do? First, you need to have like a business plan. You need to plan, like define your target audience. Who are my target audience? I've shown you like the clean energy transition. So from that clean energy transition slide, who are your target audience? If I want to start a briquetting venture, Do I target people using charcoal? Do I target people using LPG or people who are using firewood? So you need to define your target audience and what setup are you looking at, rural or urban or peri-urban or slum? Yeah. So from that, do a market needs assessment to understand your type of customers, their willingness to pay for your product. Are they willing to accept to change from their traditional type of fuel to the type of fuel you are proposing, and their ability to pay? It's important to know the ability to pay so that you design your business model. Then you can now develop a comprehensive business plan with a goal and just an Excel on the capital you need and where are the potential areas you can get this capital, and do revenue projections. 1 year or 3 years revenue projection should be enough. Do marketing and outreach. If you want to reach the last mile community, you have to use your local network. You cannot like expect, for example, to reach a rural area and you are doing distribution with a company that is mostly based in Nairobi. It will be very challenging. You need to use the local network to reach people in the last mile communities. Leverage on social media. That is where you create awareness about your product, and also doing demonstration. When we were doing the SNV project, we issued a lot of free samples to the household because we wanted them to try the human waste briquettes and give us feedback on how they compare to what they were using previously. It's one thing to tell your customer, my briquettes have high heat content, my briquettes do not have emissions, my briquettes burn longer, and instead give them a sample to go and try and give you feedback on areas of improvement, and maybe that might prompt them to buy your solution. We also had a market day where we would demonstrate to our customers how you can light the briquettes, how you can use the briquettes, for example, doing barbecue or doing for sausages, we would demonstrate how you can do that. The lighting part is because we discovered most of our clients were struggling to light briquettes. You see, charcoal, you can use paper to light it, you can use kerosene. People use kerosene to light charcoal, but our target audience was struggling to light the briquettes. So we had to demonstrate to them how you can light the briquettes. I presume they viewed it as a very new technology, very different from charcoal. Then just doing customer relationship management. Like I said, train your customers on how to use your solution. Don't assume because I was using Kenya ceramic jiko and you give me a jiko core, I will know how to use it. You have to show them how to use it. Show them that when you're using jiko core, you don't pile up a lot of fuel for one, two, three reasons. So just guiding them through the process, then collecting feedback from them so that you can improve on your technologies. Networking, join association, the Clean Cooking Alliance, the KCIC, WISEe. Those are associations majorly to keep you updated with the market trends, but also you can use those platforms to drive any policies that you want to be included or changed. And those are platforms for you to also fundraise because they host networking events. So you can use that as a fundraising platform, and also partnership. It's for me, partnership is key. It doesn't make sense if I'm doing the same thing as you, we are targeting the same county, we start competing. Find areas of partnership if possible. It saves you on cost and resources. Yeah, that is my last slide. Thank you.